So yesterday I was sort of like, why don't I rank my architectural designs and renderings? And then I was like, yeah, fuck yeah, let's do it. Because like, it's one of those things whereby so far I've been painting on plein air, and then I'm sort of like, I just kind of want to follow a different route and kind of create something slightly different, if that makes sense. So today I would be ranking a few of my architectural designs, giving my thoughts in terms of its rendering as well as the design as a whole. So I had designed a sequence skateboard park in San Francisco, and it was inspired by someone doing an ollie, which is a skateboard technique that when dissected it goes into a forward phase, an upward phase, a downward phase. So I was able to explore all the different movements of a skateboarder and kind of documented the approach to better inform the architectural design. So if I was to rate the architectural design, I would give it a 10. I do like how it came together overall. And if I was to rate the renderings, I would give it an 8. In this case, my clients were film photographers in Berkeley, and I utilized the elements of a camera. When you dissect it further, you can create geometric shapes. In this case, I leaned more towards a triangle. This was better used to inform the kitchen area. And then with regards to the rendering, I would give it a 10 out of 10. I do like how it came out, and I think it's quite cool. Another architectural design I would talk about is of a micro home. So I'm originally from Nigeria, and I was thinking about creating an architectural design that kind of was inspired by the approach of Build-A-Bear, whereby you have little elements of different things to create this final thing. Kind of thought of the idea of like, oh yeah, like it would be quite cool if we can create architecture by what we can afford or something. Does that make sense? Yeah, kind of like simplifying the idea of what the architecture uses, but creating more like a foundation and a baseline to create some sort of template idea whereby individuals can pretty much be involved in the architectural process. Yeah, I think I was leaning more towards the approach of affordable housing. I think housing should be catered to everyone, and I think it makes more sense to create an architectural design that like presents the needs and essentials. Does that make sense? But yeah, if I was to rate the architectural design and the approach, I would give it a 7. I do want to like alter the end result of the design. With regards to its rendering, I would say I do like how the rendering presents or is being showcased. It's more focused on the architecture and elements and the architectural design. So I would give it, it's actually so tricky like rating stuff. Okay, I would give it like I'll say a 5. Here's why. I think I just utilized one type of material. Does that make sense? Back in the day when it came to renderings for me, I would literally just go on Revit, drafting and modeling on Revit, turn on the shadows, export it, and then go straight into Photoshop. So at the time, I thought this was cool, but now kind of looking at it, I feel a lot of things are going on. But you know that sort of thing where you're like, at the time I'm like, okay, we're making progress, we're moving forward, and we're like, why not? Let's just keep going and yeah, just keep doing it. And I just kind of like thought it was good. So with that being said, the rendering that you currently see in front of you, I would give it like a 2. I hate it so much. It's not that bad, but like I feel like in general, in terms of like how everything came together, I'm not a huge fan of it. Back in 2020, I started kind of reforming my design ideas and kind of like altering it to kind of suit more of what I think is a lot more exciting and a lot more interesting. I ended up re-rendering that same lobby area, and I fucking like it a lot more. I do like how it informs the overall space through its architectural features and lighting. Another architectural design created in this hospitality project is the restaurant area. I do like how you can clearly tell that there's this understanding and between like materials and how they can better inform a space. So out of 10, I would give it, for some reason I keep forgetting that I'm supposed to rank this out of 10. But out of 10, I would say, in terms of the quality, I would say an 8. It reads extremely well, if that makes sense. Obviously, there are a few things I would like to change from it with regards to the flooring, but regardless to that, I think it's an okay job. Moving on. Okay, it's not okay. Yeah, it's sick. So I had designed a SkyBar in a boutique hotel, and it was inspired by a spotlight. But if I was to rate this architectural design, I'll give it a 6. The rendering, I would give it a 5. A 6, given that I do like how the concept of a spotlight kind of informs this overall design idea. There's this subtle nod back to its concept of spotlight, of how you can sort of inform a new space and you can inform spaces through circular forms. Architectural rendering being 5 due to the fact that a lot of materials are not shown and it's just heavily focused on a few things. But yeah, that's it. Here's a cafe and market of an entertainment lounge in Soma, south of San Francisco basically. South of Market, not south of San Francisco, in south of Market. It's for an entertainment lounge, and if I was to rate the architecture design, I would give it a 9. I do like how it's nod from a Labyrinth and its intricacy. I do like how it was being executed. With regards to its rendering, I would give it a 7.5. Although it does show materials and plays around with lighting, I think it can be better toned a bit down to fully understand the space as a whole. If I was to rate the architectural design of the office suite, I'll give it a 7.5. I would give it a 7.5. I do like how it did come out, and I do like how the architectural design has a subtle approach towards the way one interprets space in general. Then with regards to the rendering, I would give it a 7.5 as well. I do like how it came out, but it can be slightly better, so I think I'll take it down now. I do see elements that I'm not a fan of, so I'll take it down to like a 6.5. So yeah, I really like this architectural design. So first of all, it's a commercial design that was inspired by or driven by a Labyrinth. I do like how Labyrinths can be very much more, they might seem very intricate and very detail oriented, but it's very kind of like, my intention is strictly to create a space whereby when you walk in, you fully get it. Does that make sense? With that being said, there's one entryway, one exit way leading towards the center, and in the case of this Labyrinth, it's comprised of entertainment elements to better inform the overall architectural design. So with that being said, I would give the architectural design, it felt like there was a reason behind every single step, if that made sense. So like for instance, the office suite is currently inspired by the movement and how, although commercial spaces can be very like hidden or very private, there's also elements by which public accessibility is also available to everyone else, if that makes sense. Then with regards to the garage lounge of a residential single-family home in Oakland, if I was to rate the architectural design, I would give it a 6. In terms of like functionality and atmosphere, with regards to the rendering, I'll give it a 9.5. I feel like sometimes garages, most times, are very kind of forgotten, and I do like how the client had an intention behind its use. In the case of this, is the dining area. I do like how the client wanted to be able to watch TV as well as cook as well, created an opportunity to better formulate the architectural design. With that being said, I would give the architectural design an 8.5 and the rendering a 9. Yeah, I do like how everything came about and came out to be, and I think it looks quite sick. So this residential architecture design is in Auckland, and it's of a historical development. When it comes to the realistic sense, there are a lot more constraints that one doesn't realize if one is being used to informing new builds or creating more of a conceptual architectural design. But with regards to the rendering of the exterior, I will give it a 10 out of 10. So I had designed a living room for a family of film photographer, utilized the elements of the camera, dissected that in through its camera aperture, further even more created triangular forms that kind of informs the overall idea of the camera. This can be seen in the way by which the ceiling was being informed, as well as the coffee table, which can be seen in the center. More of a conceptual approach, subtle nod back towards the field of expertise. Most to rate the living room, I would give it 6.5, and the rendering I'll give it a 7. If it's a master's bathroom for a family of photographers, I was inspired by camera aperture and how when you dissect it further, you can create triangular forms. With regards to the architecture design, I do like how it was being executed, so I'll give it a 9.5. I do like how it utilizes the idea of incorporating lighting into architecture rather than having lighting fixtures or pendants or light sconces. Architecture lighting can seem a lot more interesting when it's being informed alongside its forms. And the render, I'll give it a 10. That's it for now, and I think, yeah, I'm done with the video. I think I'll be having more architectural uploads, architectural design thoughts, on plein air painting stuff, photography related things, fashion related things, travels. Stay tuned. And yeah, I think, so here's the thing, a lot of the videos I shot them early this year, late last year, sometime last year, but this one I'm shooting it like literally on Sunday, and you'll be getting it on on Tuesday. That's what, you know, that sort of thing whereby you just say something on camera and then you're sort of like, well, now at this point you just have to like work towards having it on Tuesday. So yeah, I guess Tuesday the 12th of July, stay tuned on the upload. But yeah, that's it.